student colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that you all agree with me when I say that the journey of foreign language teaching and learning with the practice of teachers and students here at the College of Foreign Studies of Guangxi Normal University, which we habitually shorten it as cofs of Guangxi Normal as miniature, is very much a history of searching for truth, for better solutions towards teaching and learning, or the natural path of a second or foreign language teaching and learning, as the well-known English applied linguist from Birkbeck College, Lely Salinker, put it. Looking for truth in teaching and learning, is there any truth that we can hopefully come up with? What exact truth have we been searching for so far? Have we found one? What is the truth we have discovered? Or how much truth is there in the truth we have found? We may ask a lot of questions like this. Yes, we all believe or assume that there are certain truths in learning and using second or foreign languages. And we are able to tell now that there are no absolute truths to talk about, but each of our claims stands for a closer move towards the object of our inquiry. We also realize now that what we claim true is only so for certain people or contexts. As far as language teaching and learning and using are concerned, we have been examining into issues about the nature of language, the function of language, the relevancy or implications of such understandings to teaching and learning, the nature, process, and method of teaching and learning, the role shapes of teachers and students, the function and manipulation of materials, ways of evaluation, curriculum and classroom management and presentation, relationship between in-class learning and outside class learning, etc., etc. We are aware now what is more important is that we are now consciously applying into daily practice the definition that language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols for human communication. As such, we don't teach or learn a language through separate subsystems of knowledge. That is to say, we don't encourage students to learn only words for the sake of words, sentences for the sake of sentences, or meaning for the sake of meaning. And neither do we encourage our students to learn the skills of a language discretely. As such, we consciously mingle the learning of meaning and form in a contextual way to reflect the arbitrary and symbolic nature of language. And as such, we strongly advocate that listening and speaking be placed at the priority of practice in order to reflect the vocalic feature of language. And as such, we try by every means develop in our learners the ability to use language for fulfilling their individual goals or purposes. We are very much aware now that teaching the knowledge and skills of a target language is but part of a story. We need to incorporate many other elements in our effort. For example, it is important to stress the vital role of and bring in the affective factor in teaching and learning. We believe that successful teaching and learning happens only when the motivation of both the teachers and students is aroused. We believe that successful teaching and learning occurs only when the attitudes of teachers and students are changed. In addition, successful teaching and learning can be said of our practice only when learning strategies are cultivated, cultural knowledge about the target language is nurtured. It is my pride, and yours as well, to mention that we have been experimenting our above ideas and philosophies all over the years. 20 years ago, That is, at the start of the 1980s, Guangxi Normal University established a sister relationship with Lewis and Clark College in Portland, Oregon, the United States. And the College of Foreign Studies had the chance of sending a strictly selected group of teachers there to teach a study. Professor Wang Cairen, Professor He Ruidong, and Professor Xu Jiwang were all on the group. At that time, I was just joining the cofs faculty team. And after the group returned from the United States, they began to move their ideas into actions. For example, they compiled new materials to update or supplement the prevailing textbook, Guangxi English for short. Contemporary Readings is the title of their compiled work, if my memory does not fail me. They also proposed to set up an English Day so as to provide the students an opportunity to expose themselves to the real use of their learned language and to communicate their ideas, fears, wants, and wishes to pair teachers, to pair learners, to their teachers, to the rooms of visitors from diverse school campuses of various levels, local and distant. Now from then, the English Day event became an annual event that is launched off by Guangxi Normal and finds its way up south and into the mid north, and known far and wide, and became quite virtually one of the featured programs cofs of Guangxi Normal would offer to the English community. To our joy and blisses, today present are still some of the witnesses of the events. Those who experienced those events will record them as unforgettable, and those who experienced those events definitely benefited and are the seeds and competent enough to our fortune today to pass on the tradition. As Dean of cofs, I'm proud to say the legacy remains, grows and matures with us. In 2001, I received 2 visitors from Huicheng College of Commerce in Guangdong Province, who were here with us to recruit new teachers. They interviewed 20 students who were to graduate after 2 months. And then they decided to sign contracts with 14 of us graduates because they told me our students were excellent. Their English is impressive. Edward Nicholson commented on our interviews. And Dr. Ed Wilson is from the University of Alberta, Canada. I hosted him in my office and then showed him around our building. He was surprised about the English environment here. Professor Yuan Bingye and a couple of graduate students were then discussing with me in English certain academic issues. He was enormously impressed by the collection of books and journals in our library, and now working in Guangdong University of Foreign Studies, Dr. Nicholson never hesitates to pass the message across. He said, cofs of Guangxi Normal University is one of the 3 universities with the best language learning environment for teaching and learning. Now the other 2, according to him, are Santou University and Xiamen University. He told me this last week at the 4th International Conference of ELT in China. Now last month, under the care of Professor Li Binghua and the diligent colleagues, our student of Japanese major held a debating conference, and their language fluency and proficiency won the praise of visitors and experts. Just last night, Professor Yuan Wen informed me that our participants joining the French singing contest organized by the French consulate in Guangzhou won the 3rd prize, ranking just behind 2 key universities. All this proves, ladies and gentlemen, that we here at Guangxi Normal University strongly believe in and experimenting our teaching doctrine. That is, learning happens through using, whereas using will inevitably enhance learning during the process of which practice makes perfect, if we do it in a proper way. The purpose of this Foreign Language Week is a demonstration and manifestation of our determination to continue and to expand the legacy of the College of Foreign Studies. This event was prepared with great care and consists of pages of arrangement, as you may refer to the brochure you have in your hand, or the posters. We refer to this event as the first foreign language week because we plan to have the second, the third, and many others to come. In the name of cofs and on behalf of all attending this event today, I want to express my thanks to those teachers and special teachers from the Integrated English Teacher section of the Department of English and students who have displayed great enthusiasm, spent much of their time in meticulously providing the week-long enchanting programs. And this proves once again the working of our legacy. If the teachers and students join their hands together, there is nothing that we cannot do. Now the menu is ready, the order is made, eventually comes my privilege to declare the first foreign language week of Guangxi Normal University formally begins. I invite each and every one of you to mark your program of interest and enjoy them to your heart's content. Thank you very much.